I'm seeing him in my head. Sorry.
No issues. No issues. We'll edit it up. No worries.
It's actually wow. I really am blanking, and I'm seeing him straight in my head. That is correct. So I'll say it over. So currently, on social media,
Hello and welcome to another episode of Let Me Be. This is a space where we dive into the stories of inspiring individuals who are making an impact in their field and beyond. Today, I have a pleasure of speaking with Chantal Pereira, a powerhouse in the world of marketing, brand management, and strategic growth. With over a decade of experience, Chantal has built and led high performing marketing teams, aligning cross functional teams and stakeholders toward a shared vision. Her expertise spans brand management, advertising, sales, media management, and content strategy, a rare and powerful combination. Beyond her impressive career, what truly sets Chantal apart is her passion for continuous learning and innovation. She stays ahead of industry trends, embraces new technologies, and consistently drives brand success with creativity and strategic thinking. Welcome, Chantal. Welcome to Let Me Be.
thank you. Thank you for having me. So, hi, my name is Chantal Pereira. I am the Country Corporate Communications and Marketing Manager at the GMMB Group in Trinidad. I have a passion for marketing. I am a mom of two boys, two young boys, and I love my family life. I love Trinidad and Tobago, the culture, the food, the experience, the beaches. But I also love to travel, and I love to see other um, countries in terms of their cultures, trying their foods, trying new experiences as well. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So you've been an incredible career in marketing, leading teams and driving brand success. But beyond your professional role, what's the one thing you're passionate about outside of your day-to-day work?
Outside of day-to-day work, my family, to be really honest with you, I have two boys. So I'm really passionate about seeing them grow, thrive, and just having all the opportunities that I could possibly give them, so that they live a more full life.
Yeah. So you work in a high energy, fast-paced industry. What keeps you motivated, especially on days, when challenges seems overwhelming?
Huh, good question. So yes, I do work in a very fast-paced environment. What keeps me motivated is that generally I am a curious person. So I've always been very curious on how things work and how to solve problems or issues. So if I can't solve it, it kind of almost bugs me to a point where I'm like, I need to figure this out. So even if I may have had a setback or two when I was not able to figure it out, I would actually reflect and say, okay, what went wrong in this process, or what I could have done better, and try to really learn from the experience and learn how to get that objective or that goal that I really needed to get. So being the curious person that I am generally keeps me motivated. I'm self-motivated by that knowledge and learning and trying to figure out, how things work and how I can make it better.
Yeah. So do you believe in a particular philosophy, mindset, or even a higher power that guides you, in your professional and personal life?
Yes, that is very true. So I believe in God. I believe in spirituality and all of that. I believe that they are, angels watching us and helping us throughout and guiding us throughout these. I believe in that inner voice, that gut feeling that everybody has. And I believe in listening to it. There have been many instances where that gut feeling has, really guided me in the right way versus, I don't know, I guess another path, right? And I believe in, of course, praying, asking for guidance, asking for support. And I've seen it come through many times. So I do believe that everybody should have that in their life. It really grounds you.
Yeah. So you've been at the forefront of marketing innovation. So always seeking new technologies and strategies. So is there a side project, new platform, or dream initiative, you are currently exploring that excites you?
Yeah, I'm actually currently in a project right now. That it is a learning process. So I would say thrown in the deep end of the pool and trying to figure out as I go how to swim to that other end of the pool to make sure that the objectives are reached. So I am about 6 months into this project already. And I am learning a lot as I go. I'm learning obviously the processes, what the stakeholders would want out of this project. There have been dips and lows, but we're on the ascent up the hill now. And I think based on that, I am seeing, the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm happy to be exposed to different areas in a business such as ours, because from a marketing perspective, you're not exposed to everything in a business. You won't know everything that goes on in the back end. You might not know everything that goes on from finance or even from an HR perspective. So I'm actually getting a lot of exposure within this particular project that is helping me. So
So, while doing all this, how do you balance your work, your hobbies, and personal growth?
trying not to drown. It is a lot. I won't, and because I'm a mom of two as well, I have to also balance family life and work life, and it is hard. So sometimes I would give myself a cutoff time to say, okay, I need to stop at this hour, and go and play with my kids or take them to their football game or just watch a movie with my husband, something like that. I have to have a cutoff period of time. And if I'm feeling overwhelmed or frustrated or stressed, I also would have my family to give me that soundboard and that advice when I'm going through a particularly stressful time, to help support me and not feel so overwhelmed in that moment.
If you have to, describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Wow, good question. I creative, energetic, uh, and maybe open. Open in the sense of open to learning, and that sort of thing, open to having different views and exposures to different things.
Maybe optimistic.
Yes, optimistic as well. That's a good one. I'll make a note of that.
So it's creative, optimistic, and you said one more,
Energetic.
energetic.
Yes, yes, I have a
So,
lot of energy when it comes into certain, any workplace and outside of the workplace.
everyone faces challenge in their journey, whether it's a professional or a personal challenge. So, what's a challenge, which you've overcome that, that others might know about it? So, if you would like to share any obstacle, any hurdles, which you've overcome.
Sure. I mean, I've overcome several challenges from growing up as a young child. I came from like a low income background. A lot of people don't know that or wouldn't necessarily guess that from how I look. So I would have seen my mom and dad struggle back in the 80s when Trinidad would have seen like a recession. And I would have seen my mom, in the grocery looking at each and every item, comparing the cost and what we could afford, what we can't afford. And a lot of times, finances played a big role in how we grew up because we couldn't afford to travel internationally or regionally. Not everything came to us easily. So you really had to work at what you wanted in life, right? And I was the fourth sibling in my household, so I'm the youngest of four. And it wasn't always easy, obviously, growing up as the youngest one, because there were many times where you couldn't get what you would have liked to get at that point in time. So seeing that how we grew up and my parents grew up, I didn't want that for myself nor my kids growing up. So I worked really hard to get where I am today, to be in my position, as well as to be able to give my kids, as I said, the opportunities that I would have not gotten when I was younger. So, like just little things for me, being able to take them to Disney World or to another country for them to get that exposure and that experience. It's lovely to see that.
Yeah. So, how do you see, your career evolving in the next few years? Like, what's the vision for the future?
I mean, it could be many things, right? But generally, where I am now, I'm quite happy with the role that I am in, because I am able to take. It's almost like I had started from scratch here in a sense where I was able to take the brand and lift it up in such a short space of time. I've been here for almost 3 years, right? And within the bank, I was able to uplift that brand in such a small space of time. I definitely see myself, working in marketing still. I do want to look at, of course, with AI and technology, integrating more of that into my role and that knowledge and experience, and just bolstering up my world of exposure when it comes to technology and AI and integration into that. Overall, I'm hoping that as well in my career, I get exposure to not just local, meaning in Trinidad and Tobago, but regionally and then hopefully internationally at some point in time. And just again, learning, it to me, as much as I can soak up and absorb and understand how things work in different territories or countries, that to me, that's like really winning, gaining that knowledge.
Yeah. If you could just give one piece of advice to your younger self or to maybe a young professional entering the marketing world, what would it be?
Oh, so for my younger self, I'll give it in two parts. My younger self, I would be like, listen more, right? Absorb more. When I was young, I thought back then I knew a lot, but clearly I didn't. And that there were people around me that I could have probably absorbed more information or studied more and learned more. So for my advice to younger persons who want to get into a world of marketing. Yes, studying is one part of it, but on the job experience is a major, major part that will definitely help anyone go up in their career ladder quickly by just observing, asking questions. Don't feel like you're being a burden by asking questions over and over. That's how we learn as human beings, writing down, taking notes, all these things will really help bolster anybody's career. And that's one thing I'll definitely tell young persons to do.
Yeah. Have you heard about India? Or maybe somebody have you spoken before speaking to me?
Yes, of course I've heard about India. Trinidadian culture is actually, we have a tie to India, of course, as you know, the historical history between indigenship from Trinidad and India. We also have a lot of our food would have been influenced from India. So in terms of curries, spices, we have Asian flavors across in Trinidad and Tobago, lots of influence in terms of from an India perspective as well as religions. Trinidad and Tobago is quite big with Hinduism, as well as we have Muslims as well. So we have a lot of things that tie Trinidad and Tobago to India. And just recently, actually, a cohort of reporters and influencers went to India for one of the big celebrations across there. So they were able to show on social media what they experienced in India, which I thought was really fascinating.
Okay. So have you been to India?
No, I have not been to that side of the world just yet. I've been to Europe, but not not to India.
Okay. Any book you're reading or any, somebody whom you're following on internet, which you would like to share, which, makes sense for somebody who would like to follow you? Uh, Anything you would like to say?
Right now, I'm not reading any books per se, but I do follow CEOs and entrepreneurs such as like Richard Branson, for instance. Another one would be Adam Stewart, who is the CEO of Sandals. He has some really interesting content because now he's expanding Sandals as well, and I'm seeing him, which is it's quite funny in his social media right now. He's in New York but promoting sandals, right? So you're seeing the stories of him being in New York, but then he's also promoting this luxury destination of these clean white beaches, full 5-star stay and that sort of thing. So it's quite interesting what he's doing right now and following his father's legacy in terms of expanding sandals. So that one, I think I'm really following him a lot more closely now.
Okay. Anything else you would like to say? You would like to maybe close up with any statements, any favorite quote?
Sure. So I always believe in being kind. So I believe that the reflection of you is what you would get back from people. So if you are kind to somebody, you share that same energy that you would want to that you would want back into yourself. That is something that to me has worked really well throughout my career, even though persons have told me before that I'm too nice to people. I don't believe in somebody who is being mean or speaks down to people to make them feel, not worthy. I believe in treating everybody as the same, from a CEO to, it doesn't matter. You speak to everybody the same way, you treat them with respect, you greet them the same way, and you will see the benefits of that in terms of how persons see you and how you are being treated as well. So that is one piece of advice that I would like to give to the audience.
Yeah, Chantal, this has been such an insightful and inspiring conversations. Your journey in marketing, leadership, and innovation is truly remarkable. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our listeners. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay curious, keep learning, and most importantly, let yourself be. Thank you.
Thank you.